Laid back Leonard tonight. Pauses for dramatic effect. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Lift of Leadership podcast. Shout out to everybody sending me messages. Yes, I'm glad you're waking up. Stay up for this and you make notes. I like it. I like it. I just want to send a shout out also to our Lift Off channel. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a channel, some motivation there in the morning for you. Maybe a prayer here and there. But please, we on 72 people in the channel. Let's get it to the community to 100. Love where we're building. That means we're closer to our target of just 100 true followers. And that's what we're all about. Just 100 people, 100 different leaders that we can create out there. And that obviously causes the ripple effect out there. So this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have John actually with me. Mr. John C. Maxwell. But I think I'm talking about our John C. Maxwell tonight. The theme for tonight is faster, cheaper, or better. And I reeled in the ropes the guest tonight, and I couldn't have him in front of the camera because he's always the man behind the camera, you see? So it was a bit difficult. And we've been playing around on this idea for quite some time, and that's why I've constantly been probing, you know, every time I constantly say, I will get him in. And he's obviously been missing the industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, my guest for tonight is the man behind the cam, Mr. Jovan Koeresies. Good evening, sir.
Yo, I am here.
I somehow feel like I'm gonna lay back tonight, just because I can. This is. I feel so comfortable. Like I was saying before we started, like this feel very me. I feel very me behind you. I feel very with the boards here. Right, I don't know if we're gonna go with the digital, but nah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm good, man. Lekker. Been had a lekker couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm glad to be back on some kind of a show.
Yeah, I was gonna say
President
welcome
Devon
back to the
show
podcast.
is coming back this Friday. So yeah.
I was waiting for the Preston and Jovan show, and then he was telling me I need to keep on going, because that was my inspiration for the keep on going. And then they took a break. My cup is still live there though. They took a break because Mr. Preston, I can't watch you so much on the tiki-taki, doing lots of work. But that's also the thing we will speak about, you know, when things start getting busy, because you know when things start get busy, then you can't be cheaper anymore. Because he's obviously someone who can deliver faster.
That's right.
Cheaper. But that obviously is concerned with time. So Vusi Thembekwayo says these three things about business. This is my got a stand, sponsor. And don't forget, I must go to the side, and don't forget, 100%. Plus, this is gewoon Antonio Banderas. You must check that when you come home. Shout out to the people there. Liam Cook, Roxanne Beester. Go check it out. Dane, thank you. Antonio Banderas, Blue Seduction.
Smells nice. Yeah.
Nee, potent,
Really nice.
potent. And I know nothing about spray. I'm that honesty always, I don't even have. I think the only spray that tickled my fancy was Clinique Happy for Men.
That was the one back in the day.
Is that the
I
one?
think everybody was, all the guys.
I was gifted that one by someone.
Fresh. Citrusy, fresh.
So, of the three things, Mr. Koeresies, I told you tonight I have a lot of questions for you. I set you up, my brother. I set you up.
So, yeah.
But I think I'm going to give you all context first.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you context first. Because I know, as much as I love Vusi Thembekwayo, I know you also have your reservations. Because the man is faster. And sometimes he runs away. Because Jovan is a man of the people. And Vusi run away, bro. Vusi like, if you don't know this, I can't talk to you, bro. So Jovan will still take a couple of steps back. So Vusi, shout out to you, and I know you're going to hear this. So this is on his LinkedIn 5 months ago. 39,689 followers on his LinkedIn. You know, I don't know how do I reference, make sure that I reference everything about him, you know, I don't get in trouble. So, Vusi Thembekwayo, full stop, LinkedIn profile, post, italics, full stop, date 6th of November, almost like, or 5 months ago. I don't know how to APA reference there, since for my UWC and my university people out there. Because that's another thing I want to speak about this evening. Because I was thinking about this university thing and getting to someplace quicker. Because remember today we were talking about the business plan, and it was like, there's no way around this thing, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't get faster unless you have the right expertise. So this man dropped a post and he said, in the arena of business competition, the mantra is simply yet profound, but you either have to be better, faster, or cheaper. If you can throw all three in the crucible, which is a melting pot, that is the Holy Trinity, which is like, I don't know, maybe Amazon, maybe we can talk about that. And maybe Temu, you know, you have all that in that melting pot. So this is your competitive edge. When you find out, you have to decide this in your business, and this is important for those SME brothers and sisters out there. And the reason I brought this back this evening, because as we go into leadership, this is all of us in leadership. When you're getting into that entrepreneurship game, when you're getting into your business and you're in a leadership position, you need to decide how to get quicker to certain points. And Vusi says, decide cheaper, better, faster. So to be better, you have to redefine different benchmarks. So obviously, quality. There's a lot of difference between being better with quality and so forth. So the different industries I want to touch on this evening with these three things is music, because I definitely feel that the artists who push the creative boundaries and just offer something more, I want to say unique, but something different. Gotta always be pushing. And then I'm obviously going to touch on education. In my notes, I definitely put the education that provides a innovative initiative. And I say the word initiative because it's possible for everybody to do it in every different sector of education. And then obviously sales. I want to talk about the difference between if you're going to focus on a ROI vibe versus an effort to impact. So, sir, can I bring you in?
Yeah.
I first want to talk about faster.
Okay.
So, the advantage of agility. So, I want to talk about where we're sitting now, roll out a network. When I looked, I was like, I need to tell the people the metrics because these are metrics people. So we're only on, there's only 39 subscribers.
Yeah.
There's 16 videos on there.
Yeah.
Faster. Where does faster lie with rollouter? Because someone will look at that and like, bro, it's going slow.
Okay, let me maybe just start from, I think it's more of the building, man. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work from a point of, so what you would deem as fast from a consumer is different to fast from the producer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when you build in, you can only build at a certain pace. When I say that, I mean foundation needs to be set. You can't build quicker if your foundation is not going to set, because you end up with settlement cracks later on. So that's why you get these cracks in the wall, because they built too quick, so they didn't allow for time for the foundation to set. Is that making sense?
Yeah,
so
it makes a lot of sense.
Fast in that aspect makes no sense. You have to give time for your foundation to set properly, for things to actually be built. Once your building is up, it's easy to bring furniture in.
Would you say definitely different industries, different people impacted in different ways in terms of faster? In education, it's difficult to move faster. However, I think I want to talk about different initiatives.
Yeah, your faster is different.
The faster is different in a different sector. Like you mentioned something and you said the benchmark. Like where's the benchmark for faster? Like with you, so when does the producer go like, now I need to flip it? And I'm not asking metrics, but I'm talking about in terms of
where you know that flip over point.
Yeah, where's that flip over point?
I think for me it's an architect will know once he's ready. Like, listen here, this time now, okay, paint is going on now. So once the paint is done, bro, and the floors is ready, drop sheets come off, and now we start. So within that 2 weeks, you start pumping, because you know, like, things are moving now. So while things are happening, you almost don't house people. You only have your workers while they're building the house. I'm using that as an example because it's construction period. So people will be like, yeah, but it's taking long. Yeah, the fast is coming because I'm building. So essentially, there's almost, your faster comes once you're producing. Like if you're producing cups, you first need to put the factory together. So a lot of times people won't see the factory being built, or they won't even pay attention. They will just ask what's going there. They won't worry. And then you see the ShopRite sign come and be like, oh, okay. So it's a different case from what we're building, because we're building the brand and we're building the infrastructure and we're building the content and we're building. So our faster will come once we're ready.
So how do you, and like I said, I want to bring this back to the SME brothers and sisters, that small business. I think everybody's in this hustle mind, eh?
Yeah.
Things are going up, so you
Yeah.
have to have the side hustle, and that's what I grant. So you have to think of are you going to decide to be faster? Because now decide, are you going to sell t-shirts or are you going to make your own t-shirts? By the way, shout out to Starcorp. This is from the Now You Know podcast, one of the hosts there, Malachi. It's a young gentleman at my facility. And plus, this is a potent sweater. Like
it's
the
fresh.
echt thick Starcorp. Ek moet check julle foto's vandag hier by die skool. So again, now this is beautiful. Like please, Mister, because you know so much about clothing and things, and about this, not about this industry. Like the faster is difficult to explain to the ladies. So the other lady also created a brand, most now. But now I can see he again. He's paused again on the posting because obviously now he had the market that he sold. So you obviously now the income with him fast money. But now you must know how it works with closing. That was just an event. So you must go to another event. So I just want you to break down the faster because I mean also another thing, everybody wants to start a label now. So where does the faster lie in this industry?
For clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, clothing is
No, we need to give it to the people. And it's, again, like I told you before, we were at the podcast. It's not to shoot down like to not start and to not become an entrepreneur because it's lekker, it's risky, it's you feel you're dreaming while you're doing it. But there is a point for everything.
Yeah, you see, clothing is like it's massive. Like the industry itself is like, I mean, Cape Town itself had a buzzing CMT industry when they had all the factories and the mills and everything were there, and you could get it for cheap. So you could push out more because everything was produced there. Now the world shifted to Asia, China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, India. All of these things have been produced around the world there. Everything literally around the world is being produced there because it's cheaper. So China became faster, and it's literally what they did. Like you can I don't want to give prices, but it's ridiculous when you buy in bulk what you would actually produce something here in South Africa compared to what you would produce in China.
No,
So
give the
so
price
people
to
would
them,
go
man.
faster.
So give the price.
Let's just say, for instance, I'm use ballpark figures. You can get a sweater in China, depending on the amount of volume you're buying.
I want 100,000 t-shirts.
Yeah, like $8, $10,
10 rand.
10 rand, depending on what your volume you're pushing. I'm just using an example. So if you're looking at 15 rand a t-shirt, fully made, coming over, but again, it's your volume you're pushing. In order for the once you've built a brand, you're gonna look at, I need to get stuff out faster because now supply and demand kicks in.
Ooh, price theory, my children. Price theory.
So it's like I need to actually push this out now.
this
There's a
is where I'm
demand
at, like-
for 50,000. You can't produce 100. So your faster is already kicking in. You want to do good.
Yeah.
You want to be better. But you can't be all three in your environment because resource is important.
So now you get a lot of orders, and then because now you need to now push out because this is where I'm just, this is what the advice I need for the kids and everybody else that I encourage that's in this business. Like, where do they draw the line? Because they remember they want to start the business with very little. So where did it, like, what's the next step? Because now do they go cheaper?
As you said, again, it depends on your brand. It depends on what you're pushing. So you could say, listen, I'm going to go cheaper and I'm going to push volume because I'm producing everything here because I don't have the capital to go somewhere else. So then you have to choose. Or you can say, I'm not going to go cheaper and I'm going to keep the demand high. But now you need to offset that with somebody else because you don't want people to almost think, I can't get me a tea, and that now it dwindles.
Yes.
Because your marketing is based on your tea. And this is where branding comes in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I definitely want to go into branding. How far or fast? Okay, no, let's go. With branding, there's also cheaper, better,
Yo, bro.
faster. With Dev's going there, bro. There's Dev's the thing. I'm looking at the shout out to all the football teams at least pushing their branding.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, well done. I'm gonna push the branding, but there's a problem, yeah. You gotta take the post on my wall, chop it off in the corner. You know, you gotta. We can see you using Canva and all these things, because it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, that you do get an expert in. Now, what happens when you can't afford the expert? And yeah, man, just talk about branding. Can you can't scapegoat this thing, né? You can't scapegoat this cheaper, better, faster. Your branding is echt. You make me now go, boss here. If you brand yourself cheaply, because you know me, I'm all about that brand, especially the personal brand. Like,
Yeah.
you got to how you represent yourself, not even how you look, like just that how you represent and what you represent. So that's the important. But with branding, like let's go for the worst one first. If you want to do branding of your business and you want it to be cheaper, where does that fall short?
It depends on where you're going. Like, listen, TikTok is TikTok.
TikTok is TikTok.
So people really don't care. However, the proof is in the pudding. So
Okay, quiet.
TikTok is
Like
almost like
a
a marketing platform to push your brand. But ultimately, your brand is going to speak in the hands of the people. So if you got a cream, and I'm putting the cream on my hands, and it's all on TikTok, and I got a dance going with it, and the song is, and everything is pumping, lekker. So your marketing is on point, but your product is going to speak somewhere along the line.
Correct.
So again, it depends on what brand you want. So if you're pushing like a proper brand, you're gonna have to put things in, like Kanye West.
Ooh, Kanye West. So where's Kanye West? Cheaper, better, faster?
He is
Okay, is he the bride put it all in the crucible?
like, just look at what he did. Mad marketing thing. He goes on the Super Bowl, pays $7 million to get an audience of 150 million people.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. He goes out, puts his brand in. He doesn't even put anything into marketing itself. So he keeps his advertising and his marketing costs for 7 million.
Okay.
So that's his budget. He then decides, I'm gonna make something on my phone. I'm like making a video in the car. Yo guys, go to easy.com.
Okay, over.
Launching the brand, bum, and we go in $20 for everything. Pre-orders makes some stupid like 15 million within the first, I don't know. But that was marketing. Easy, the brand was built.
Yeah.
It was exclusive. It was expensive. He built it with his. He came out with. He started as an artist. So his brand was. Do you see the difference? Like, he built brands. So Kanye can put his name to anything, and now you're gonna be like, okay, cool, yo, dude, let's do this. Why? Because he's he.
He's easy.
Yeah. So, but he built the brand, built the following. He doesn't post much on marketing because what he does is he releases the album and then he'll be like, okay, here's fresh stock. So he has a drop of stuff.
That's
Which is a totally different way of doing all your branding and marketing, exclusive drops.
I was looking at Mr. Chromatopia. Mr. Tyler
Tyler the Creator.
Yes. So I was looking at it and I was watching this whole thing about how he's branding, and he's also a marketing genius. And he also came out of Kanye's hands and all that. Because he was doing this whole Chromatopia center truck around America, but he created this character. Obviously, an Illuminati character, according to me.
Crazy character, but crazy. He created it.
He created it. And now this character's on all the merch. So now he doesn't sell himself, he sells the character.
But also, remember, it's not just him. So, going back to your SME thing.
Yeah.
a lot of the times people want to build a brand. So in their mind they have, because you were speaking about cost and all of these
Yes,
things.
yes.
So building your brand is one thing, and you have to look at it from a longevity point of view. What am I building? And that's why you have a brand guideline. Like, I'm sticking to this. Like, you've got Blask, you just redid your logo.
Yes.
So that's your brand guideline for the next couple of whatever.
Yeah.
And you're gonna stick to that. This is the colors, this is what we're doing. Logos on the top right. We're gonna keep it looking fresh. That's what we're doing. And then you keep it in that. That's your whatever KPIs for your brand and
Yeah,
things.
it's nice to understand that, because I was lucky now. I was lucky now for like you were saying now, the people don't understand their brand, because now what do people want to do? You must get someone to come eat by you. That's not a cheap way to brand.
Yeah.
You get one of the influencers to stick out, they come eat by you, they eat your food, but do you consider what that person represents? Like, that's cheap marketing.
And this is, and again, your brand is your brand. After a while, it's almost like this. Coke is Coke. Do you know what Coke sponsors? No. Just think about it. Does Coke sponsor anything? They sponsor so much stuff.
Yeah, they just post.
All the shops everywhere where there's a Coke, somewhere there's a sponsorship thing happening there.
100%.
But it's because their brand is so big, you just see Coke everywhere. Like every third, even the red and the white. The sound of the can. They built a brand, they built a lifestyle. So they don't have to market as much. They plugged in everywhere. The veins are everywhere.
Oh, that's a different one again.
Do you understand?
It's again the plug.
So now you've got this vast thing of, I'm building a brand to be like Coke. But the mindset with this generation and the 1.5 minute noodle now, it's not 2 minute noodles, man. So.
Yeah, it's quick in, quick out.
Yeah, there's more like, they don't even want to make noodles anymore.
Yeah, and
They
like
wanna
even there's hele cool drinks now, mos.
Yeah. Like switches we got now, 70 different drinks.
You are in self skrik, I'm going back into energy drinks, yeah, and then off these things, but there's some vitamin C. And
Yeah,
then
there's
so
a
I turn it can, I'm just so, oh, what is here in nie? I can't get involved. It's too much, man. And I see so much stuff, and I say, oh, I'll stop watching all the documentaries. This is the children can handle me. Then the milk thing is the worst with me. Like, obviously, I don't eat my pastas and what. But milk, I'm starting to get good over the milk, because I must know what milk do to you. So, the children make us squirm when you always talk about it. But that's why seeing these energy drinks, like, everybody is a big craze, no? But
It's crazy.
And now they sponsor. But who's behind it? Probably some marketing big. Oh, I must check into who is behind the switch vibe. Because they smart came into the market hitting you poof, faster, better, cheaper.
They are everywhere, bro. Everywhere.
And again, now you understand that's the crucible for wanting to get in the market. I find it tough in education, because I always felt like faster, and this is for you, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, for when you consider education for your child, consider these three things: faster, better, cheaper. Cheaper is obviously down the road.
Yeah.
Or if you live in the public school, that's obviously cheaper. Then you're gonna go faster. That's online, that's your trauma van. But okay, but you think you can go for it. And then there's obviously better, which is private. So now I have this conversation. I'm with the soccer guys on Monday night, and to go play some indoor. Yes, record the skippers. So I say, what's my school fees for my school? So he mentions the school fees for another school, and he's like, $2,000 is the maximum. I'm like, okay, that's still cheap. He's like, cheap, that's a clone. I'm like, you're like, what's yours? I said, 3,500. He said, nah, you a scam. I tell him, nah, man, yeah, I recorded. They say the worst stuff. He said, nah, your school is a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. I tell him, nah, man, at the end of the day, this is where we are now, bro. Cheaper, better, faster. And that was my whole, when he said that Monday, I was like, nah, this is what I'm going to discuss on Wednesday. I'm going to throw all the other stuff out the window. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand, though, bro. This is what you either, there's two choices in this world, right? there's two choices of choices, right? The first choice of choice, which is next week's episode, is quality over quantity.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have that debate next week. All right.
Okay. So we won't get into that.
We're gonna get into that now,
Okay.
because I just tell the kids you can go quality over quantity. You can go one quality woman or quantity, and you see what happened to you. Or
Engine is in a burn.
I want to talk about the other choice you have: cheaper, better, faster.
Okay.
And that is with the education vibe for me. You like this. Literally, if you think about it, like there's no compromise anymore. I went on the Dan Corder. Love your show, brother. I ran on these positions. I'm not gonna wear 3 kippies though. And if Ian say, I'm reaching out to me one day, sending that out in there. We have to speak to Jovan. So this is the thing, cheap. You can't compromise in education if you look what's happening at the moment.
You can't.
And I someone felt guilty on the time. I'm like, I can't be better. I need to help and be cheaper. And then I was like, no.
Nah, you can't, bro. Listen, and I mentioned this before, and I think this was a big thing for me. I was at the normal model, I wouldn't say model C school, primary school.
Affluent is the word.
Yeah, well, on that side of the railway line.
On that side of the M5.
Yeah,
M5?
yeah, that side of the M5.
M5 or
primary
M3?
school. Yeah, no,
M5.
M5 first, primary school. High school, M3 vibes.
Ow!
And then your level of education there, and then obviously then I left grade 9, so grade 8 and 9 was at private school, grade 10, 11 and 12 I was at another school, former Model C school. The level of education between that two, there was a gap.
Your gap, man.
There was vastly. The assumption would be like, oh, it's the same. No, there was a gap. Firstly, simply because you got less children in the school.
Whew, that's already.
So when I was in grade 8 and 9, we had 30 kids in the classroom.
Surely.
No?
Okay,
but that was 30 kids in the grade.
Yo.
So there wasn't A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. There was a A. Grade 8A, grade 9A, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12A.
Blast, you into blast.
Yeah. So this was grade 8 and 9. Grade 10 obviously went to a different high school, and then there was my A to F.
Oh, yeah, no.
Also 30, but A to F. So you got more. So the teachers you got different thing. It's like, but the education, the way it was taught was different. Like I breezed through grade 10 and 11 because I did it in grade 9. So it was easy. Maths was easy. I was like, what is this?
We did this already.
Yeah, I'm like, got to grade 12. I was like, whoa, you guys are giving me new stuff now. What's going on? Vastly different. Now, from there to the education level in, let's say, for Mitchell's plan, another gap. And it's not something I'm talking just because you see it with the eyes. Like I've been there, and you can see the vast difference between. You would know.
Yeah, no. Definitely.
Like there's a massive gap, and this is the thing with education: cheaper, yes. Faster, possible. Better, and obviously touching on what you're gonna do next week: quality and quantity. Vastly different. You're paying for a certain quality of education.
Yes.
It doesn't come cheap, and this is why you pay. And that's why education for me is something that you put aside to say that is better.
Yeah, nice.
And it sets you up. Like there's so much things that opens in your mind, discipline that comes. Like I was in high school. Your shirt's never tucked out.
Okay.
Your shirt, bro.
Just for the discipline.
I'm on a taxi in grade 8. I'm taking a taxi home, grade 8. I'm sitting in the taxi with my shirt tucked in, tie on, and blazer. The discipline that gets instilled into you as a 13, 14-year-old. When you get to 18, this is normal. You stand up when a female walks past you. Stand up, morning ma'am. You don't see that now. So
Yeah.
these things are instilled into you. I mean, that's just education. So you can go cheaper. But somewhere along the line, it's going to lack and you're going to see it later. Again, foundation, if it built too quick, foundation's not set, you're going to get set more cracks later on.
Oh.
Do you see why? So now you're looking at, as you're building that child from a young age, make sure you take your time. Why? Because that's foundational stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to see it when they're 18, 19, 20. You're going to see it when they're 30. And then you're like, oh, why? They're going through midlife crisis. No, they're going through midlife crisis because somewhere along the line.
No, brother, I'm busy studying here. I'm studying childhood trauma again here, doing a lot of insights into childhood trauma. And the reason I'm doing it is because my thing was always about you need to understand how far the ripple goes as an educator.
Yeah.
My favorite question is everybody out here in the Instagram world, nogal klom of you jumping on the Instagram world. Hello, you must go like us on the YouTube also. Hey?
Yeah.
But
like, share, follow.
Like, share, follow. I'm the brother to say that
network.
now. The Raw Louder Network, ladies and gentlemen. Because my thing is everybody out there in the world. I see we got some people from New Zealand and Australia also watching.
Oh, nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will all remember our best and our worst high school teacher.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Hands down.
Guaranteed that's the one question everybody can answer. And I love saying it because I am part of the BNI network. Ladies and gentlemen, reach out to me. I'm looking for some visitors. Actually, I'm not looking for some visitors. I'm going to bring some of you in. So I always ask that question because people always remember. And why? Because something was instilled in you. And this is why, if our generation, this is why for me education is important. If our generation is already being eaten up by the phone, and you're already not considering who you're putting in front of your child, because of who else is around your child. Because yes, I hear you, Jovan, and being at a Model C school would give you that discipline that, you have to, that old school Model C schools, that's potent. And I fully agree with you, and I love that about it. But now we also have that different generational lighting.
Yeah.
That needs a different type of discipline installed. One of the girls at the school asked me today, what is onions for? So onions is the boys group we have at school, right? Once a week we meet, 45 minutes with the boys.
You guys have got what? Onions and clouds?
Clouds is the girls. So clouds is the girls group. That's some acronym for confident, loyal, and vigilant.
Nice name.
Shout out to the clowns group. Kim, there you got a shout out for the people. Clip it, take it. And she asked me, what do you talk about in onions? And I'm like, you must not go and ask that. Since all I know you kakmaka. She's like, I said, that's all I hear. That's all I hear. I just hear, no, we call each other out. So I'm like, potent, because Kim believes, call a spade a spade. Women need women. Just as much as we say, men need men. So I tell her now it's just about teaching the boys responsibility. Because you need to understand you are responsible for what you do and what you don't do.
Yeah.
And this is what they don't understand because of the entitlement of a generation. Because you don't understand what you do. We understood what we don't do is important. You're getting, something's going to be taken away. And actually the words that hitting me now in my spirit is consequence.
Yeah.
So loaded though, the word. But unfortunately, it has to be used. Like if you create that consequence of your behavior, then you're actually going to understand. Because some of them choose, when they do academics, as we're speaking about in education, the child even chooses quicker, better, faster. They're sitting in a classroom, and how am I going to get this done? Am I going to get this done by quicker? Because there's a better way and there's a faster way. And I see this in education. Like, how do you make kids understand that everything should be done better? Quality over quantity. Don't do things quick, do things right.
Yeah.
Put up your hand if you don't understand. Now again, I work with the high school contingent of kids, so I'm always, I say I do kintsugi. I must put together the pot with gold. Because when I receive them, and this is broad and bland, ladies and gentlemen, this is, I get a kid from a primary school in this side of the M5.
Yeah.
You know, in this side here on the M5. And then I get a kid from, and this, because this is our first big bunch of grade 8s, like a full classroom of grade 8s.
Okay.
So, I check your potent grade 8. So now the school is growing. You now we feel this thing is growing, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be moving. We'll give a big announcement next week. We're moving. And yeah, so the kid that come from this side of the school, of the demographic, middle sector, right? And then the GPAX area, and then one, nice, on the M3.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, bro. So the one never saw exponents this side yet. You don't even know what an exponent is yet.
Yep.
One in the middle is going, nah, I know. And the other one's going, no, we did this last year. And I'm going like, yo. So ladies and gentlemen, you need to consider these things, eh? And I was thinking like, is it for you to step in there and go like, what is my child teaching? Like, the answer is yes. And also to know a little bit, because this is why people don't only consider cheaper. Cheaper is always most less time to consider. And in the education sector, you can't take so less time to consider where. Because like you say, if you don't lay the foundation, my best thing is now is like you say, when they go into the real world. Now I'm thinking, I taught for 5 years at a school in Mitchell's Plain, and I had 5 matric classes, even more lighties, and a lot of lighties went into the world. And I love stalking them, and I always say I love seeing you spend your money. But you can see that even in that areas, just instilling like what's better. Don't go for the faster, don't go for the cheaper, go for the better. What's the better for your life? And some lighties, the ones who studied, because that they knew that's going to lead to something better. Because I have to talk up the studies I was saying the other day. Because we always say, school, the system and this, but like you say, there's discipline there. Yeah. It's the foundation for the next step. Because you can't cheaper education. I don't think you could ever.
They did. And that's the whole...
That's the whole rigmarole is where we are now.
Exactly. And I think that's the big thing also, is on that, you've got a system that was built where you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
So you come into a workspace not knowing that this is how I should act, because I wasn't upskilled. And it's also now a generational issue, because there was a what's the word? A deception that this better at this level was your best. That was given. Because I mean, the 2 generations before us, certain things was the norm, and so them this was the best.
Koi, I was thinking now, like we were to pass at 40%.
Yeah.
I was now that day, because I was like, wait a minute, let me go research, because I'm constantly telling the parents, hey, remember when you were in school? Then I was like, nah, I actually found when we were in school it was 40% and 50% for the languages.
Yeah.
Now it's 30.
Now it's 30. But now look at this now. That's done somewhere in a selective, and maybe we can look at the metrics sometimes, get all the stats. That's done somewhere. So it's almost like, for you, we're telling you that. But now the school that I went to, that was never said to me. So I never looked at 30 as a pass, even though I knew it was there. So it was like, my goal is 70 and above. I want to be in the top 10. I'm going to strive for A, because I can. And sport, I want to make province. Rugby, cricket. You go in because your exposure is to better. And when you come to a level, this is personally, when you are pumping at a certain level, you can get things faster, you can get things better, and it won't be cheap.
Sure.
You will come. And from a education level point of view, your education, it's just things are better. You accept, you don't even think of cheap anymore. Do you know what I mean?
And it's so true what you say. When your education is better, you don't think of cheaper. I can see it with the kids who when they the ones who
It
get
offsets the
the
quality
ones who
versus
get it,
quantity
Because
thing. Yeah.
again, all the kids are different, and again,
Yeah.
it's not gonna go like they step in there and they immediately go like, oh, I see what he means. Like the ones who get it, like the ones who see all this matrix nonsense I talk about and thinking different and the mindset things. Like you can see the ones who get it. It's how obviously falter the children. But you can see the ones who start like, start chinking their armor, like I want more for me. And this
Like-
is actually what this is why this is actually, I'm thinking now, when the flip goes, oh, this is why my mommy them sending me here.
Yeah.
This is why my daddy them sending me here. This is why he's talking about. The quiet thing for me is I have one of my ex-students works with us. Caleb worked with me. I taught him grade 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah.
Then I tell them, he's from Mitchell's bro.
Yeah.
Because I wanted, while you were talking, I was thinking, while you're talking, I'm thinking also about the people who's listening to us. And I'm going like, it's for everybody. We're not running away from you. I know the struggles is tough, but you can also want better for you in where you are.
But now just check here, man. Can you imagine you grow up now and your quality was always the best, or your better was somebody's top that you could ever achieve because of his environment. So you get in that fast. Your level already is going to be above everybody else's. Because now your better is going to be better than everybody else's. So you will look at the Springboks, all of these guys they come from a certain set of schools.
Yeah.
There'll be one or two from the dusties that makes it. And then they have to elevate themselves to get to a place of this person's norm. Their better is somebody else's norm. I'm just looking from an education point of view now. They're striving, and so somebody that grew up with the best, getting things quick, like have a mindset where they don't even they're not there. This is their norm.
And this is the like for me again, like I say, I don't sell a product, man. The education is not a product, and I can't put it in a box to say what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I can show you what I'm teaching, because you can Google it. It's easy. You can go see. And that's the potent thing is like the WCED, ladies and gentlemen, every single lesson that your child must be taught is literally on the internet. You can literally Google it. What week, what month, what grade. It's literally there.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I don't want to defend the WCED, but at the end of the day, I do want to add value, because it's still education, bottom line.
Yep.
So WCD, your portal, well done. I use all the stuff, and I use it to remain compliant. However, the rest of the things the children need to hear, that must come from the betterment, for the showing you something new, for the getting you into the network.
Yeah.
Showing them how to network. What is this thing of networking? Doesn't matter where you're from, you go talk to the next person. You go find out. Reach out to the people on Instagram if you want to know something. Because again, that's where the better, you don't feel you're better. And this is where you at, like, remember when we went to the nice talk we went to, and we had the father and the dad sitting on the panel, and you were like, but this was bound to happen. If the dad was already producing for Netflix,
Exactly.
then the son is obviously gonna so we deal with a different.
Maybe talk about that.
Yeah, so
just share a little bit. Maybe not where we were, but
so that panel discussion was mind-blowing, because if you look at it also, you have that demographic that have that we grew up, and this for me was potent, because he was saying he grew up on a farm and he was struggling.
The father
Said, I grew up on a farm, and my parents taught me I had to work hard, and again, we say this always about our white brothers and sisters, they don't still worry with the clothing in the young days. You know what I mean? Where's the investment? The investment's by, again, now let's talk about parenting. How do you want to parent?
And you
want to parent better, faster, or cheaper?
Yeah, and you were talking about what you were saying last week. What was the topic? And now the
infinite game.
The infinite game. And sometimes using game is one thing, but actually looking at it from a generational point of view.
Ooh.
That father is playing the infinite game.
That father is playing infinite game,
Because, and maybe just to give a little bit
And
of
this is,
context.
I promise you, I walked away here last week. This is, I shite you not. I walked away last week and I jumped in the car and I was like, this is the one topic I missed in the infinite game.
Yeah,
Parenting. Why?
Yes.
Because it's not an industry.
exactly.
There's no bookmos, man.
Yeah,
So unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it's still a leadership position. Jy's Mr. Ma, Jy's the Pa.
yeah,
So in that thing, like, how are you leading? Are you leading better, faster, cheaper?
yeah.
If you're leading cheaper, like,
You're gonna see it.
yeah, you're gonna see it. And you said it earlier. If you're gonna lead cheaper, you're gonna see it quicker.
You're gonna see it quicker, bro.
Sweat is on a
You're
break.
gonna see it. Van settlement cracks is gonna happen, and then they're gonna ask, yeah, but why? Why is the child acting out like this? What? Somewhere along the line, bro.
You went for cheaper.
Exactly. And again, it comes back to you don't know what you don't know.
The crazy thing is today I walked into a conversation. It was so beautiful today. I took a walk around at the facility and I was just like, let me go see how my educators are educating. And I walked into a few conversations and it's heartfelt, man. Just walking in and the kid is actually it wasn't about the work, man.
Yeah.
The one conversation was literally about that, and I still wanted to butt in, and then I just closed the door and I was like, nah, leave it. This is what I wanted to say. I was going to say, if nobody points it out to you, you'll never know it exists. And that's what I said. That is like literally, ladies and gentlemen, the foundation of this podcast is that if nobody points it out to you, you're not going to know it exists. The first thing I went to go do when Trump won, what did you do when Trump won? What did you do? I know what Zaire Witboy did, because I did the same thing. I went to go look at the charts. Shout out, Zaza. I went to go look at the charts, same thing. I was now earlier looking at the charts, so I'm like, yo, I hope you guys put in your sales and so forth. Your buys on the USD, the Dixie's reg op, alles is op. Talking to the ladies there, they said like, my trading professor, I was called the professor in my trading years. So again, but faster. So in parenting, again, just taking it back to in the infinite game, like you have to think generational. There's a song called The Blessing. And one night that song hit me hard because that lady was singing, and your children, and their children. I'm thinking, you can stop now. I must now want to stop thinking about, and your children, and their children, and their children, and their. I'm like, infinite game pass. And that song hit me that night. Swallowing. I said, I was worried about Alex's children. You and Alex's children's children. Because they also going to know me still. So, this is the infinite game of deciding to rather be better. Because, I'm going to add this. Cheaper would actually be just watching what has happened around you. And not trying anything different. In the parenting infinite game, and in the parenting cheaper, better, faster. Because in that game, like being cheaper in there, like again you say, and that has a generational. I must call it rather be a generational blessing. Look for the next, because I see how it can work in that. And I wanted to touch on, because I had a Putin one here, Putin industry to focus on salesmen.
Okay.
With how evolving is, like you have to understand, like everybody's obviously sales, it's ROI driven. But I've seen the Owens that's long in the sales game that's more relationship driven. And that's what, again, if I go back to our talk with all those guys on those panels, I'm with the MBA, I'm with 1,000 degrees, funders, but just having that level of acumen, man. We're salesmen, and we're going to do it better. But they're speaking like they can do everything faster, but it's always about just focusing on doing everything better. And if I think back now, it's like, literally, like all of them just went, now we're going to do it better. We're not going to try to do it faster. Yes, you're the model, but we're not going to try to push it out faster.
Yeah.
It's like I had a crossroads today, and then I sent you a message to say, look, must I send this thing now to someone, because it feel like it's hot lead. Someone's gonna throw me with the hele geld now. And you so like, why did nobody respond?
Yeah.
A year ago to the same thing you're gonna send now?
Yes.
And Jay will fast us. And that's how it goes. And this is again why I want to speak about these experiences, because I'm living these experiences of sometimes wanting to be faster and then going like, nah, who made this business plan? I know it was a faster, but we're going to have to, and it's going to cost you sometimes, and it's going to cost you. But I think that's what faster requires, no?
Yeah, and it's that supply and demand thing. Asking this, I'm saying this, what are they looking for? So generally, whatever industry is, what are they looking for? What's the supply? What's the demand? What are they looking for? Like you were busy with a business plan. You're going to send it to somebody. I can send you a whole business plan, but there's nothing of what they're looking for. So now I'm thinking,
They're going to click miss.
they're going to be like, I'm not looking for this. Yeah, but I put everything that's supposed to be there. No, but no, I'm not looking for that. Because I want this, the supply and the demand. Go in with your, you do a lot of mindset, especially with the, what do you do there with the mindset? You fix the better.
Yeah, just you can do more. And again, like I always say, we're not here to give advice, ladies and gentlemen. We must actually make a decision.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like basically what it is. And I think that's maybe the crux of it. The quality of your life determines the quality of the questions you ask. So you must ask yourself, do you want to be better? Do you want to be quicker? Do you want to be better, faster, or cheaper?
Yeah.
I can even speak about sportsmen. There's no fast to it.
You can't.
Apologies. There's no fast to it. There's only hard work to it. There's no getting there quicker. There's literally no way getting there cheaper also. That's like, there's no, like I've obviously worked in an industry where I took lighties overseas, and some of them went like, nah, maybe it was 30K to go, but that was a cheap way to get scouted, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because you're literally going, pay, put me in front of the people, and if I make it, I make it. Potent model, love it. However, if it's for someone that had put in the better, and this is so crazy if I think back again, is that I had a team of better and I had a team of cheaper. And it's not to say there's any take away anything from the person, but it's just the thinking. And did anybody from the cheaper make it? No. They gained the experience that.
Yeah.
And I think they found out quicker that no, this football thing's not for me.
But that's almost the sale of the product. You're selling the product. So it costs me cheap to sell the product, but what quality of product am I selling? So you sent a cheap product over.
Yeah, we brought
Cost me a decent amount of money, but I sent the player over, but the quality wasn't good.
Yo.
So they're gonna see, but what are you selling me? Because proof is in the pudding, especially with a footballer. So like, your quality.
Pudding with a footballer.
So now, do you want a faster? Do you want better? Do you want a cheaper? Because I can give you a cheaper.
Emil Witboy went to Chelsea yesterday.
I saw the youngster. 1 month now?
Yeah?
Is it 1 month trial or 1 week or
They
something?
call it an assessment.
Assessment, yeah.
So, cheaper, better, faster. The boy's 15. What did they do? They put him in the PSL team so that they could take note of him. I hope it don't become like a cheaper, better, faster. So what are they looking for him? Because that's a longevity.
Yeah.
I hope it's an investment into this is a.
But you know our view when it comes to the foundations of young footballer. We see it all over.
And this is my like, what's the foundations of the boy? The nice thing is his father's an ex-professional footballer, looked after him, knows it, the boy's head screwed on properly. And we've seen it with footballers. I mean, the best player in the world now, Mr. Rodri, academic focus, you see it on the field, makes football look beautiful again. And we see this, not a cheaper player, not better, not quicker, better. Just does everything better. So, in terms of your business, as we wrap up, my brother.
Yeah, speaking for just under an hour.
Yo, I must know my timing, because I must chop it still up.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you have 3 decisions to make this week, and next week you have another 2. You need to decide how you're going to operate. Cheaper, better, or faster. Mr. Koeresies, thank you for joining me.
Pleasure, sir.
Next week, I definitely would want you back when the guests are here. We're gonna have to
yeah.
dive into quality and quantity. It was I think it was good for me to touch on education for that long of a segment because I never really get to speak about it.
Yeah.
But appreciative to you. Thank you, sir. Anything you want to leave the people with?
I just want to say to everybody that's building, build. I've learned not to compare myself to anybody else over knocking your head over a lot of times, and then when you're building, believe in what you're building. So just do it. We sat around the table. We've had this conversation many a times, and then we're like, just do it, man, bro. Just do it. Do what you do. Build it. And then because it's given to you, it's your idea, it's your baby, you birth, you take responsibility for it. So if there's people building, you guys are building your small business, don't compare your house to anybody else, if that makes sense. Build it, finish it nicely. Not everybody's at the same space.
Yeah.
So somebody might have all the money and the resources, but not have the idea.
True.
And you sitting with the idea, some of the resources with no money, how do you build? But you do it, and you be like, okay, can I network again, like we were saying? And I think just on the topic of when we were at that networking session,
Yes.
and then I told you, so to the people watching, the father was saying how he had to work and he made the mistakes and he learned and he had to teach himself to fight because he had nobody teaching him.
Yes.
And then the son said these words. He said certain things was easy for him because he saw his father do it. And then I told you, look at what second generation mindset does.
Yo.
Remember, I was like, yo, dude. He was like, because his parents always said, go for it.
Yeah, go.
He said, I have this idea. They said, okay, go for it. They said, I'm not doing that well in exams. He said, as long as you pass.
Yo,
you're not going to be an educator. You're going to run your business. That's what they told him. So because of what we see, you push. And this was that, I was like, mindset, environment, building. And we find that in our communities, there is no environment.
There's no environment.
Mindset is not there. There is no second generation of mindset. Some of these kids are starting at 20 years old, 25 years old, and they reach that point at 30. And they're like, oh my word, can I become 30 years old? And now you must build. You literally have to build your mindset. And you have to start, okay, now you must bring your kids in. So now you build an environment. You have to start from scratch. And this is, I believe it makes us tougher, but yeah, I think it's a longer conversation.
Oh, that conversation is coming in definitely next week.
So
thank you for that.
Yeah, pleasure.
Whoever's out there, keep on building. Foundational is very important. And I think from my side, like Jovan said, we were sitting around the table. I spoke about the podcast. I spoke about the school. This was 4 years ago. That man said, keep on building. I went from cheaper to faster, back to cheaper, back to faster. And at the end of the day, it was always going to be better.
And it's getting better.
And it's getting better.
And it's not getting cheaper.
It's not going to get cheaper. Yo, it's going to stay a Ponzi scheme, bro.
The cost they cover.
Yo, the cost is only going up. I was actually reviewing the stuff for pushing the price maybe a bit up. But ladies and gentlemen, again, and this is what the podcast is about. It's for the first generation. Because we're creating the second generation mindset. Telling you all the mistakes that's been made. Telling you the seminars we're going to. Telling you the things we've been plugging in. The struggles we're going through. Because as much as everybody's having their podcast and interviewing everybody out there, like somebody's going to need to tell us in the language that we understand what is also and can be happening. Because you can't wait till 30, when was COVID? We're 36 for John C. Maxwell to come in my life. Are you mad? You have to give me John C. Maxwell at 12 or 13?
Exactly.
I want us to do it.
Yeah.
But the Lord knows, man.
Yeah.
So every man at his right time, and if I can implant the stuff now, sure, we can only have a great generation of people that want to not be cheaper, not sell, not want to be faster, but actually want to be better. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, the Lift Off Leadership Podcast, Fagan Miller, see you next week again for a top pauses for dramatic effect. I'm Aria.